Afternoon, students. In today's lesson for the academic essay writing, we are going to be discussing, studying the two types of introductory paragraph. As you know, earlier we read some parts of the essay on page 75, the model writing or the model essay or the writing model or the writing sample or the essay sample. We read this essay, and now we will analyze every part of this essay. Before going back and reading the introductory paragraph of the model essay on page 75, we are going to know the types of the introductory paragraph. What are the types of an introductory paragraph? What are the possible types we are going to know about the introductory paragraph? How does the introductory paragraph start and how it ends in order to move into the body paragraphs? So on pages 80 and 81, if you have your hard copy books, you can see we have two types of introductory paragraph. Two types of introductory paragraph. This means that you can introduce your essay, your topic, in two different ways. Either by following the funnel model or the attention-getting model. What is the funnel model? What is the attention-getting introduction? So, on page 80 and 81, I'm going to share with you these two pages in order to understand these types of introductory paragraph, and at the same time we are going to what? We are going to read 4 introductory paragraph samples, 4 model introductory paragraphs. I'll ask you to read them, and while reading these paragraphs, these sample paragraphs, the sample introductory paragraph, I want you to think of what type are these paragraphs. Are they funnel introductions or attention getting? Okay, while reading. So you can start now, think about this. Okay, while I'm sharing the document. اوكي طلاب جاي يشوفون الشيرت دوكيمنت الان؟ ممتاز.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Here we have two types of introductory paragraphs. We have the funnel. Okay. Okay. ممتاز. So here we have the first type of introduction. This one, I'm underlying it. Okay. And the second type is called attention getting. Attention getting. Let's explain before going into the other forms or before reading the samples. I'm going to explain something about the funnel introduction. طبعا هنا المصطلحات يعني الفانل, you know the funnel, this is the funnel. Okay, this is the funnel. Okay? This is the shape of funnel. Funnel هو القمع. يعني احنا مستخدمين هذا القمع، ما ادري انتم ملحقين عليه، بندير مثلا ماي في مثلا في كونتينر، مثلا فد عندك جيلي كان، عندك فد bottle of
دكتور
water.
مسمينه
اي يعني هذا هو الفانل.
سلامة
اوكي
مستخدمة.
start. اوكي وين مستخدمه؟
جالس بينفض.
اوكي جيد يعني ملحق تشوله.
يستاهل شو
يستاهل دكتور.
بابا.
ممتاز اوكي ممتاز. ف it starts from the wider, look at the wider at the top, the wider shape, and it ends with what? It ends with a narrow yes shape at the bottom. And it's like what? It's like a triangle upside down. يعني إذا عندنا triangle هسه نرسم هنا. اوكي لازم اشر. اوكي مثلا اذا نرسم triangle here. اوكي هذا triangle. Here we have the wider space, and here we have the smaller one or the narrow one. It starts general and ends what? Starts general and starts general. This is the word general statement. And ends with a thesis statement, which is very specific. Okay? Okay. So it's like what? It is like a beginning. We have to start our essay or our introductory paragraph if we are following this model, if we are following this type, funnel introduction. Okay? Starts with background information, starts with background statements about the topic. We talk about the topic using general statements. فالgeneral background يعني نستخدم general background about our topic. وبعد ذلك we narrow down or mention more specific information about the topic. بعد ذلك يعني نوضح أكثر بشكل more specific about our topic until we get to the end of the introductory paragraph, which should be our يعني the writer's thesis statement, the most specific sentence in the introductory paragraph, and it should be in the whole essay. يعني هي أكثر جملة condensed مكثفة و conveys تحمل the main idea of the writer. تكون at the end what? At the end of the paragraph. Sorry. At the end of the paragraph. صار واضح يعني we start generally and we end specifically. We start with general backgrounds and end with specific information about the topic. Okay. So this is the funnel introduction. Funnel introduction. يعني this is one way, one type of introductions we can start our essay. We write a general background of the topic. نعم.
احنا ما ماخذين محاضرة من قبل، هاي أول محاضرة.
شعبة هاء.
Sorry دكتور for interrupt you.
عجبني انه
اول محاضره هاي.
ماكو اشكال، ماكو اشكال يعني الظاهر الشعب الاخرى حظهم كان اوفر لانه يعني كل شعبه اخذتهم يعني كل يعني عندي هسه ما ادري 5 محاضرات اكثر وهي الشعب الاخرى. ما اعرف الظاهر صادف فد يعني فد ظروف معينه غريبه يعني شعبه الف وباء وجيم ودال ماخذهم.
صحيح دكتور شعبة دي خذيتها.
اوكي ماكو اشكال لانه كل المحاضرات راح ان شاء الله تنزل لكم على الويب سايت لكن شوية تحتاج إلى وقت يعني أقطعها وتترتب بشكل محاضرات حتى لا تصير يعني طويلة ولا تصير يعني تحتاج إلى داونلودينج، يعني من أسوي لها داونلود تحتاج إلى وقت أكثر، وقبل ذلك لازم أسوي لها فد يعني فد kind of separating each part according to the topics we are covering. فمو مشكلة، لا بأس، مو مشكلة. ان شاء الله يعني المحاضرات السابقة راح توصل لكم بالويب سايت، وكذلك هذه المحاضرة واخريات ان شاء الله. فالفانل introduction يعني we start يعني after knowing the structure of the essay, since you didn't know about the structure of the essay, let's talk about the structure of the essay and its difference and similarity with the structure of the paragraph. Look, here we have a paragraph. Okay? A paragraph is composed of sentences. These are the sentences. We start with the topic sentence. This is the topic sentence. Then we have supporting sentences, and the last place of the paragraph we have what? We have a concluding sentence. The same principles applies to the structure of the whole essay. يعني بالضبط نفس المبدأ اللي يشتغل عليه الباراجراف يشتغل عليه شنو؟ يشتغل عليه الاساي. Instead of having a topic sentence, we have what? We have an introductory paragraph. Instead of having supporting sentences, we have supporting paragraph. يعني sentence تستبدل بparagraph. Okay? And instead of having a concluding sentence in the paragraph, we have what? We have a concluding paragraph. Okay. Okay. In the introductory paragraph, we have two parts. We have two parts. We have the general statement. We start with general information about the topic, and then narrowing it down into our thesis statement. Thesis statement works to the essay as the top sentence works to the paragraph. يعني مفهوم الthesis statement هو carrying the main idea of the whole essay. Okay, telling the readers about, or telling the readers the main idea, or telling the readers about the main idea of the whole essay. مثل ما topic sentence telling the reader about the main idea of the paragraph. إلى الآن الأمور واضحة طلاب؟
Yes sir.
اوكي ممتاز. يعني من حيث structure الاختلاف الوحيد هو the length of the paragraph in comparison with the length of the essay. اوكي، لكن principally speaking من مبدئيا ومن ناحية المبدأ من ناحية المبدأ ومن حيث المبدأ the structure of the paragraph is composed into three parts, and the structure of the essay also is composed of three parts. The topic sentence in the paragraph, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. In the essay, we have what? We have introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and concluding paragraph. The same principles. Okay. Then quickly we move to our next topic, the types of introductory paragraphs. And before that, we have a model writing, a model essay. We have a model essay on page 75. You can see on page 75 the model essay we have. You are required to read it, understand it, analyze it very well. هذا الموديل essay اللي هو in front of you now, separating the sexes, يعني separating the genders, يعني males and females, just for the تفييز. هذا انتم مطالبين بقراءته وفهمه وتحليله، لكن احنا راح ان شاء الله كذلك نقرأ ونفهمه ونشرحه ونحلله. قبل لا نقرأ يعني انتم مطالبين بهذه القراءة وهذا الاكسرسايز. عندكم ان شاء الله وقت لقراءته وتحليله، لكن قبل ان نحلله انا افهمكم طريقة تحليله. نبدأ بالintroductory paragraph. والintroductory paragraph قلنا we have two types, either funnel introduction or attention getting introduction. Funnel introduction, we start with a general background about the topic. We then explain the topic more specifically and narrow it down until we reach what? Until we reach the thesis statement. The thesis statement here. The thesis statement. Okay. We start widely and end specifically. This is the thesis statement. And this is what? This is the general background. And here we are what? We are narrowing it down. Okay? Narrowing the topic down. شوف الخط هذا يعني يقل شيئا فشيئا. Okay. So this is the first type of an introductory paragraph. The second type is called attention getting introduction. Attention getting introduction means that when you start, the writer starts his or her introductory paragraph, he or she starts with either or with information that is capturing, okay, information capturing the attention of the reader, yani affecting the attention of the reader, capturing him or her, influencing him or her, or his or her attention. Okay, so another kind of introduction is one that captures your reader's attention. Three of the most common attention getting techniques are telling a dramatic or funny story. We either start with telling a story, or we start with a surprising fact, or surprising statistics about something, or we might introduce our paragraph by telling historical events. احنا ليش نبدأ بهذه الطريقة؟ مرة نبدأ مثل ما ذكرنا بالمثال الأول، نبدأ بشكل عام، نذكر معلومة عامة عن الموضوع، ثم بعد ذلك نشرحها حتى نصل إلى رأينا بالموضوع. هذا يسمونه الفانل introduction or funnel way of introducing your introductory paragraph. مرة أخرى لا، attention getting introduction. يعني we try to get the attention of the reader. We try to capture the attention of the reader. We try to make something or start with something interesting to our readers. Okay? To get his or her attention. How to do this? Either by telling a funny story or telling some interesting historical events about something, or we might start with telling some surprising facts or statistics. Is that clear till now? Students?
Clear, Doctor.
Okay. Now, whether you are looking at the page in front of you on the laptop or on your mobile phones, or you have the hard copy, I prefer that you have the hard copy of the textbook. يعني إذا عندك النسخة الهارد الفيزيكال بوك أفضل حتى تقرأ بشكل واضح، ويعني يعني تكتب ملاحظاتك على الكتاب on the margins، على الهوامش، زين، وتأشر يعني براحتك يعني ما زال الكتاب هو يعود إليك، فأنت براحتك هنا شلون تكتب ملاحظاتك. إذا ما محصل الكتاب لحد الآن، الأسبوع المقبل ما أقبل واحد ما عنده الهارد كوبي، لأنه راح أخليكم تقرون الباراجرافز، نقرأ essays، نقرأ parts، نقرأ sentences، شوف شنو عندنا التحضير نقرأ، وأخلي الطلاب يقرون one by one. زين؟ أوكي
اوكي دكتور.
ممتاز. اوكي so عندنا 4 sample paragraphs، 4 introductory paragraphs راح نقراهن الان، راح يعني اقريكم اوكي تقرون الباراجرافز. يعني while you are reading، يعني كل الطلاب الان اللي موجودين 39 طالب، اريدكم تفكرون بهذا الباراجراف one by one. يعني هل هو هذا الباراجراف اللي راح نقراهن، هل هذا الباراجراف يعني resembles the funnel type of paragraph، لو attention getting paragraph؟ يعني يا نوع من التو paragraphs اللي شرحناهن، اي نوع من التو paragraphs اللي شرحناهن، هل هو funnel او attention getting introduction؟ اوكي، فطلاب اللي يعني يريد يقرا يرفع ايده اوكي حتى نقرا الباراجرافز one by one. فرجاء if you want to participate in reading these paragraphs, please raise your hand. طبعا I want more participants. اوكي، لانه عندنا 4 paragraphs. Each paragraph might be read by 2 students. بعد غير مصطفى عودة ومريم مدحت، اريد بعد طلاب يشاركون يرفع ايده، وعندنا هاجر عدنان كذلك، بعد بتول محمد، بعد طلاب الى الان قراءة. واثناء القراءه اريدك تفكر، يعني بعدين اسالكم بعد ما نقرا كل الباراجرافز اريدك تفكر what types of paragraphs are they and why. اوكي نبدا بالقراءه. مصطفى عوده اقرا لي paragraph number 1.
Yes, Doctor. One day, a few
Yes.
miles off the southern coast of Iceland, the crew of the fishboat noticed smoke on the horizon. Thinking that another fishing boat was on the fire, they want to investigate. When they got closer, they discovered that the smoke was not from a boat on fire. Rather, it was from Andres Falcon about the airport.
Thank you very
Next
much.
day,
Thank you very much مصطفى عوده. Thank you. بتول محمد.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes please go ahead continue.
Continue. بس ضيعت السطر.
The next day, from the next day, I'm moving the cursor here. The next day, can you see the cursor? Okay.
بس ثواني دكتور. The next.
Can you see the shared document? يعني جاي تشوفين الباراجراف on the page in front of you?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
ليش ما ظاهر عندك shared document؟ ما ظاهر عندك؟ طلاب
لا.
جاي يشوفون ممتاز. انا جاي اشر هنا، المؤشر ظاهر عندكم مو؟
يا
صح.
دكتور.
اوكي اقرأي من the next day.
The next day, ash, cedar, and pumice were blown 100 feet into the air.
1000.
1,000 feet into the air. The fishermen had witnessed a rare event, the violent birth of the Iceland. The volcano continued to erupt for about 4 years, eventually creating an island about 1 square mile in area and 560 feet in height. The birth of Thirsty as the Iceland is named offered scientists an extraordinary opportunity to learn how life takes hold on sterile landmass.
Okay, thank you very much, Yasmin or Yasamin Abdul Karim.
نعم دكتور.
Yes, please. Read
العفو.
paragraph number 1.
بس العفو، بس ضيعت السطر لأن الصورة راحت، النت شوي ضعيف، ممكن بس تدلين عليه؟
لا, from the very beginning of the paragraph. One day.
One day, a few miles off southern coast of Iceland, the crew of fishing boats noticed smoke on the horizon. Thinking that another fishing boat was on fire, they went to investigate it. When they got closer, they discovered that the smoke was not from a boat on fire. Rather, it was from an undersea volcano about 2 airboats.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Maryam Mithat, please continue.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. The next day, ash cinders and mimic were blown 1,000 feet into the air. The fisherman had witnessed a rare event, the violent birth of the island. The volcano continued to erupt for about 4 years, eventually creating an island about 1 square mile in area and 560 feet in height. The birth of Certese as the island is name offered scientists an extraordinary opportunity to learn how life takes hold in a sterile land mass.
Thank you very much. Listen to me, please, while I'm going to read this paragraph and think of it. What kind of paragraph is it? Is it a funnel introduction or attention getting introduction, and why? So please listen to me. One day, few miles off the southern coast of Iceland, the crew of a fishing boat noticed smoke on the horizon. Thinking that another fishing boat was on fire, they went to investigate. When they got closer, they discovered that the smoke was not from a boat on fire, rather, it was from an undersea volcano about to erupt. The next day, ash, cinders, and pumice were blown 1,000 feet into the air. The fishermen had witnessed a rare event, the violent birth of an island. The volcano continued to erupt for about 4 years, eventually creating an island about 1 square mile in area and 560 feet in height. The birth of Surtsey, as the island is named, offered scientists an extraordinary opportunity to learn how life takes hold on a sterile landmass. Okay, so this is paragraph number 1. We read it, and we are going to read paragraph number 2. Paragraph number 2, who is going to read paragraph number 2? Marwa Diya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Moving to a new country can be exciting, even exciting experience in a new environment. You show how feel more alive, seeing new sights, eating new food, hearing the foreign sound of a new language, and feeling a different climate against your skin stimulates your sense as never before seen. However, their
Thank you very
sensory
much. Thank you very much. Fuad Zahir, please continue
Yes,
reading.
doctor.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
doctor. However, the sensory compartment becomes sensory overload. Suddenly, new experiences seem stressful rather than stimulating, and delight turns into discomfort. This is the phenomenon known as shock. Culture shock is more than just like home's needs, and it affects nearly everyone who enters a new culture: tourists, business travels, development, and students alike. Although not everyone experiences a culture shock in exactly the same way, many experts agree that it has roughly five stages.
Okay, thank you very much, Fuad Zahir. Hamza Ihsan from the very beginning of paragraph number 2.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please.
Moving to a new country can be an exciting, even exhilarating experiences. In a new environment, you somehow feel more alive, seeing new sights, eating a new food, hearing the foreign sound of a new language, and feeling a different climate against your skin stimulates your senses as never before.
Thank you
So,
very much. Hajar Muhammad.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please.
However, the sensory environment becomes sensory overload. Suddenly, new experiments seem stressful rather than stimulating, and delight turns into discomfort. This is the phenomenon known as culture shock. Culture shock is more than jet lag or homelessness and affects nearly everyone who enters a new culture, trousers, business, travelers, diploma, and student like. Although not everyone experiences a culture shock in exactly the same way, many experiments agree that it has roughly five stages.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to read it. Please prepare yourself yourselves to read paragraph number 3 and 4. I'm going to read, listen to me while reading introductory paragraph number 2. Moving to a new country can be an exciting, even exhilarating experience. In a new environment, you somehow feel more alive. In a new environment, you somehow feel, yes, more alive. Seeing new sights, eating new food, hearing the foreign sounds of a new language, and feeling a different climate against your skin stimulate your senses. These things stimulate your senses as never before. Soon, however, the sensory bombardment becomes sensory overload. Suddenly, new experiences seem stressful rather than stimulating, and delight turns into discomfort. This is the phenomenon known as culture shock. Culture shock is more than jet lag or homesickness, and it affects nearly everyone who enters a new culture. Like what? Tourists, business travelers, diplomats, and students alike. Although not everyone experiences culture shock in exactly the same way, many experts agree that has roughly 5 stages. Paragraph number 3. Who reads paragraph number 3? أريد طلاب آخرين. طلاب آخرين يقرؤون paragraph number 3. طلاب، بالنسبة للقراءة، القراءة مرتبطة جدا بالكتابة، يعني من ضمن اختبارات الكتابة في درسنا إن شاء الله راح يكون القراءة، لأنه القراءة هو الحجر الأساس للكتابة. ما لم تكن a good reader, you will never be a good writer. Okay. طلاب آخرين. ناطق ناظم.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Introductory paragraph number 3. The pilgrims who arrived in Massachusetts in 1620 come to find religion's freedom in the 17th and 18th centuries. Large numbers of African men and women were brought as soldiers to work on large plantation in the south. Immigrants from northern and southern Europe come in the early 18th century to escape poor economic condition at home. Later in the
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ناطق. Somebody else? طالب آخر يا نور صباح. Yes, please. Noor, go ahead. Later, from the word later.
The birds emerging Chini come as countries Albert to build to rebuild continuing east and west to 19th century politics in the
Okay, thank you very much نور. يبدو انه النت يعني يمك ضعيف. طلاب، هذه القراءات انا يعني اسمعها واسجل ملاحظات عليها، وطبعا شيء اكيد اللي يشترك حتى لو كانت قراءته غير جيدة هو افضل 100% من اللي ما يشترك عندي بالنسبة لي، لان ما يشترك ما اعرف شنو مستواه. اوكي، اعتبره ما يشترك واعتبره ما يعرف يقرأ. اوكي، بس من تشترك وما تعرف تقرأ يعني إلك فد درجة معينة، إلك فد إشارة معينة، حتى باكر عقبه من أنطيك درجة السعي كل شيء أنا مسجل هنا بالدفتر عندي، منو المشترك منو الما مشترك، بعدين منو اللي يقرأ بشكل جيد منو اللي ما يقرأ بشكل جيد، وهكذا. فالقراءة يعني فد شيء أساسي بالنسبة للكورس مالتنا. دير بالك، يعني نقول لك حضر تروح تقرأ كل شيء بصوت عالي، وإذا عندك أسي تقرأها بصوت عالي، تحللها تفتهمها. باراجرافز تروح تقراهن بصوت عال وتسوي عليها براكتس. اذا عندك sentences exercises whatever يعني. I'm going to read paragraph number 3. The pilgrims, okay, the pilgrims who arrived in Massachusetts in 1620 came to find religious freedom. In the 17th and 18th centuries, large numbers of African men and women were brought as slaves to work on large plantations in the South. Immigrants from Northern and Southern Europe came in the early 19th century to escape poor economic conditions, at home. يعني كانوا في poor economic conditions at home. They escaped from that, moving somewhere else. Okay? Okay, it's here. Later in the 19th century, the first immigrants from China came as contract laborers to build the railroads connecting East and West. In the 20th century, political and economic refugees arrived from Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America. Indeed, the United States has seen immigrants come from many different parts of the world, and they have come for many different reasons. Their ability to adjust to life in their adopted land has depended on several factors. And finally, paragraph number 4. Who reads paragraph number 4? Wasan Abid Awad.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Good night, blood pressure. Truffle, worried about heart disease. By Bonbon, it is the best news in years. Studies into Britswas, a scientific journal say dark chocolate is good for you. Seems that eating a small basis of dark chocolate regularly can reduce this risk of heart disease because dark chocolate, but not milk chocolate or white or chocolate contain high amounts of flavonoids, powerful.
Thank you very much. Wasan, thank you. Mustafa Jasim, from the very beginning.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Paragraph 4?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Introductory paragraph 4. Got high blood pressure. Try a truffle. Worried about heart disease. By a bonbon. It is the best news in years. Studies into the states. Scientific journals say that chocolate is good for you. It seems that eating a small piece of dark chocolate really can reduce the risk of heart disease because dark chocolate, but not milk chocolate or white chocolate, contains high amounts
Thank you
of.
very much. Thank you very much. مصطفى عودة مرة أخرى.
Yes, sir.
From the very beginning of paragraph number 4.
Got a high blood pressure. Try 12. Worried about heart disease. Buy a bonbon. It is best. It is the best news in years. Studies into prostatations, scientific journals say that dark chocolate is good for you. It seems that eating a small piece of dark chocolate regularly can reduce the risk of the heart disease. Because the dark chocolate, but not milk chocolate or white chocolate, contains a high amount of flavonoids.
Okay, thank you very
Powerful.
much. Thank you very much. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to read paragraph number 4. Please listen to me while reading. It should be read differently because here we have exclamation mark, we have a question mark. It should be read differently with different intonation. يعني نغمة القراءة، طريقة القراءة يجب أن تكون مختلفة. ليش؟ لأنه عندك question marks وعندك this is question mark وهنا عندك exclamation mark. Okay? I'm going to read it. Got high blood pressure. Got high blood pressure. يعني like a question. Okay? This is a rhetorical question. يعني هو مو الغاية من عنده السؤال، هذا يسمونه السؤال يعني سؤال بلاغي، واكو أسئلة استنكارية واكو أنواع من الأسئلة. Okay? Got high blood pressure. Try truffle. What about heart disease? Also a question, like a question. Should be read like question. What about heart disease? By a bonbon. It's the best news in years! Exclamation point. It's the best news in years. Studies, and why it's the best news in years? Studies in 2 prestigious scientific journals say dark chocolate, it is chocolate, okay? Say dark chocolate is good for you. Good for you. How dark chocolate is good for us? Something interesting. It seems that eating small piece of dark chocolate regularly can reduce the risk of heart disease because dark chocolate is what? Because dark chocolate, but not milk chocolate or white chocolate, contains high amounts of flavonoids. شنو الفلافونويدز؟ هو راح يعني يشرح. Powerful cholesterol fighting compounds. What is the next health food going to be? Question mark. Ice cream? Sugar cookies? There are so many conflicting news stories about which foods are good for you that it is often difficult to make the right choices at the supermarket. Now, here we have 4 types. Here we have 4 samples of introductory paragraphs. Can you tell me what type of introductory paragraphs are these? Yani paragraph number 1. Is it funnel type of introductory paragraph or attention getting type of paragraph? Who can tell? Batul Muhammad?
Yes, doctor. I
Yes.
think it is intention getting because he tries to capture the reader intention through tell story about fishing boat.
Okay. Good, Batul. What do you think, Mustafa Ode?
Yes, sir. I think also it is getting attention because it's starting with a story.
Excellent. That's right. So this type of introductory paragraph number 1, is telling a story. Starts with telling a story and telling a funny or not dramatic, not conditionally, not necessarily funny, not necessarily funny. It should it can be what can be a dramatic story, funny story, any kind of story. So it is telling us a story. One day, a few miles off the southern coast of Iceland, the crew of a fishing boat, he is telling us a story, starting with story. At the end of the introductory paragraph, we have the thesis statement. الجملة الأخيرة عادة, academically speaking, عادة الجملة الأخيرة بالintroductory paragraph هي thesis sentence that carries the main idea of the whole essay. اللي هي the birth of South Sea. هذا اسم الايسلند او اسم الايلاند بالبداية كان اسمها South Sea, as the island is named, offered scientists an extraordinary opportunity to learn how life takes hold on a sterile landmass. هذه المين idea of the whole essay. اللي بعدين بالbody paragraphs the writer should provide us with evidence about this topics, this thesis, defend his or her claim, position about this topic. Paragraph number 2. Who can tell me what type of paragraph is this? Maryam Midhat.
Yes, sir. It is final paragraph.
Yes, why?
Because it starts with general and then so specific, the statement.
Okay. What do you say, Batul Muhammad?
I agree with her.
Yes, why?
because he starts with two sentences. Each sentence are focus on the top until the last sentence. يعني مركزين على نفس النقطة.
Okay, what do you say, Mustafa Ode?
Same, doctor. They starting
Yes.
with the topic sentence and they supporting the sentence until the end of the paragraph.
Okay, so it is final introductory paragraph because it starts with a general statement about the topic and then explains this topic step by step, more specifically, until he states, he or she, the writer, states what? States his or her thesis statement. The last sentence, look at it and read it. Although not everyone experiences culture shock in exactly the same way, many experts agree that it has roughly 5 stages. So what do you think will be written in the body paragraphs or for this introductory paragraph? What do you think the writer should write and talk about? إذا تبقى رافع إيدك أنا يعني راح أختار الاسم مرة أخرى، فإذا تعرف الجواب ارفع إيدك، ما تعرف الجواب نزل إيدك. Okay. In this paragraph, introductory paragraph number 2, we are expecting that the writer will talk about those 5 stages. Okay? He's going to talk about this experience. The experiences of what? Of culture shock and how it is different from one person to another according to the 5 stages. So he's going to give us evidence about this main idea. Is it clear now? It's clear now. طلاب. Okay. ممتاز. Paragraph number 3. Paragraph number 3. طلاب البقية طبعا اللي ما يشارك يعني اعتبره يعني ما لا راح يعني من انطي درجة معينة على المشاركة لان انا مسجلهن مشاركة مسجل. اوكي. بتول محمد.
Yes, doctor. I think
نعم.
it is intention getting intention because it starts with historical story about pilgrims.
Okay, Batul, it is not intention, it is attention. What do you say, Marwa, Diya?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
I think it is attention getting paragraph.
Okay, why?
Because it's a story with the historical facts.
Okay, it starts with telling us historical events about this historical event, the pilgrims who arrived in Massachusetts in 1620. Okay, he's telling what events and mentioning dates, mentioning years and centuries, etc. The thesis statement is, where is the thesis statement? Where is the thesis statement? Normally, usually, academically speaking, the thesis statement is mentioned as the last sentence of the introductory paragraph. So here, the thesis statement is their ability to adjust to life in their adopted land has depended on several factors. So he's going to explain in the body paragraphs how these peoples يعني هذه peoples هنا بمعنى يعني how these people the immigrants peoples يعني الشعوب فهنا عندنا لا الimmigrants يعني they came from China, they came from Asia, they came from Eastern Europe, from Latin America. How will they or how did they adjusted their behaviors يعني adjusted their behavior and changes modified their behaviors to be what? To be to be adopting with the new conditions. Finally, introductory paragraph number 4. بتول محمد. Yes.
I think it's also attention getting.
Attention, not intention. Attention.
Attention
Why?
getting.
Why?
Because it's still a surprising fact about bonbon chocolate.
What do you think? What do you think? Why do you think it is surprising? How could you infer that it is surprising? Yes.
ما أعرف شلون أشرحها، بس ما حد كان متوقع إنه هي الشوكولاتة الداكنة إنه هي تخفف أمراض القلب، يعني حسب ما
جيد.
أتصور.
Jade, excellent. So it is what? It is giving us what? Surprising facts about something. Surprising fact about something, because we didn't expect that chocolates has some useful benefits to our heart disease. Okay, so it is what is surprising. So the writer starts with such type of information to surprise us, to capture our attention, from the very beginning of his or her essay. And the thesis statement is, there are so many conflicting news stories about which foods are good for you that it is often difficult to make the right choices at the supermarket. طلاب، بما انه انتم ما اخذتوا يعني مقدمات عن الموضوع، يعني وهذه يعني لاول مره، هذه المره يعني راح يعني انطيكم العذر، لانه قد ما تكونون متهيئين ومحضرين المحاضره، لكن في المحاضره المقبله لا، راح اختبركم بشكل ادق. اوكي، المحاضره المقبله يعني انتم خاصه، اذا ان شاء الله انا يعني قدرت اقسم المحاضرات وانشرها على الويب سايت، يجب ان تشوفوها من البدايه، يعني one by one. ما قدرت تحضيركم هو قراءة هذه المقالة اللي ذكرناها on page 75. المقالة on page 75. هذه المقالة اللي هي الموديل essay. شنو تحضيركم؟ تحضيركم قراءة المقالة وتركيزكم على اليمن على الانترودكتوري باراجراف. اريدكم تركزون على الانترودكتوري باراجراف. شلون تركزون عليها؟ تفهمون معنى، طبعا تفهمون المقاله بشكل جيد، تسوون براكتس على المقاله. راح اقريكم المقاله يعني في اي جزء، اقول لك اقرا من الباراجراف نمبر 2، اقرا من وسط الباراجراف نمبر 2، كمل قراءه، ما اعرف شنو، لكن راح يكون تركيزنا على الانترودكتوري باراجراف، its meaning, its discussion، راح نناقشه. What type of introductory paragraph? Is it funnel or attention getting, and why? هذا واحد. وينتقل تحضيركم إلى pages 82 through 85. من 82 إلى 85 مع قراءة المقالة اللي قلنا عليها، اللي هي الموديل رايتنج. اوكي، رايتنج موديل، الموديل اساي. اوكي، اكو واحد عنده سؤال الى الان؟ اكو واحد عنده سؤال؟
دكتور، من الافضل يعني اشتري كتاب، مو احسن من النسخه الالكترونيه؟
شيء اكيد،
يعني
مثل ما
بالتاشير.
نعم.
يعني كتاب السؤال.
نعم، الافضل تشترون الكتاب. اعتقد من الساعه احد الطلاب قال يوم الاحد يعني تتوفر النسخه يعني بالمكتبه اللي بالكليه عندكم. اوكي ان شاء الله. واذا ما حصلتها، واحد ما راد يشتري الفيزيكال بوك، ماكو اشكال، لكن خلي عنده السوفت كوبي، اوكي، البي دي اف، ويكون عنده بشكل واضح. يعني من اقول له اقرا، لا يقول لي انا ما اقدر اشوف، او ما اعرف، يعني ما اعرف شنو، يعني لان انا اقريكم دائم في كل محاضره اختبركم بالقراءه. قراءه فشيء جدا اساسي بالنسبه لي وبالنسبه لماده الكتابه و your level at English in general. يعني شنو مستواك باللغه الانجليزيه ينعرف من قراءتك. هذا فشيء كلش مهم. اوكي، اكو واحد عنده بعد سؤال؟ اذا ما عندكم سؤال ارجو المغادره بشكل سريع. طلاب. يوسف داود موجود؟ ما موجود. ناطق